Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. What we have today is right here in this little cardboard box. So without any delay, let's go ahead and crack this box open and see what we have in here. We've got some glue sticks and a glue gun. It's convenient to have a glue gun and glue sticks. And then we have this little contraption. Kind of a neat looking little doohickey, huh? It's got a little springy thingy on it and these feet and this little thingy here that holds stuff, I think. Oh, and there's a microfiber towel. We'll put that on that plastic bag to keep it nice. An instruction booklet. Hey, we got a spray bottle too. And that's got something to do with some release stuff. And then a Ziploc bag with these little pad doohickeys here. And guess what? Those pads lock into this thing. And you squeeze the handle, you can adjust it and all that whatnot. And kind of a cool little thing. Whole bunch of different sizes, different shapes. And we'll get into that in a little bit. And a couple of little plastic chisel tools. I'm sure that probably has to do with getting these and this off the paint. Some more of those little plunger thingies. And these are some Teflon type punches. I'll take one of those out. From what I understand, these are kind of one of the things that you use this hammer with once you pull a dent, and if it raises up too high, you gently tap it down. But we're going to find out all of this stuff as we get into this project. What else is in there? Some more of the dent puller pads. These are blue. These look like they're smaller. So various sizes, various shapes, so that we can do what we do, and that's it. So there is our paintless dent repair pulling kit. Hopefully that's all we need to make that dent that's over there on the truck disappear. I think I might go ahead and pick up the instruction booklet and read on it just a little bit to make sure that I'm using the right color. There's a clear yellowish looking glue stick, and then there's a black glue stick. I'm sure there's something in those that tells us which ones we should use for it. And so other than that, I think it's just a matter of making sure the surface is clean. We select the right size puller and then get the right tension on that, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to actually adjust cameras and whatnot, get it down there, so hopefully we can see what's going on camera. And like I said, I've never done this before. This is a first for me. I'll admit I did pop the box open a little bit and peek in there, but that was it. I did not pull the instructions out and read over those. Yeah, okay, I will. But anyway, I'm trying to do this as honest as possible so that if it's easy for me, it'll be easy for you. And if you see where I have issues, then you know that you may have issues in the same spot. So let's get into it. Okay, it does say on here, the title of this says Practical Tutorial. So hopefully it is. It says, clean the dent with a clean damp cloth and mark it with a marker pen. Okay, that's my first problem. I'll be right back. Okay, so I got what I hope is a good marker so that we can see it on the paint, and that is going to be a box of crayons. Crazy Art 24 washable crayons. So in case I get this all over me, I guess it's washable. So anyway, let's go do a little bit of marking and see how this shows up on the paint. It may not show up at all. We may just have to deal with trying to eyeball the dent as best we can. So But let's go see how this works. All right, so I got the camera set up now. We're sitting, I've got a suction cup to the hood, and this is the dent that we're going to work on right here. And it's right next to this little rock chip right here that's got a little bit of rust spot in the center of it, so I'll have to fix that later. But I wanted to identify kind of where we're at so that as we progress through this whole process, we'll be able to see whether we actually fix this dent or not. So, all right, what color should we use? Let's try, there's this one. If I can get it out of the box. How about Amarillo Verde, green-yellow. So, okay, we want to mark, well, that might work. Hopefully I'm not marking too close to the work area. And so we've kind of got that. Let's see how that shows up. I think it'll show up okay. Basically we have the line around it so that we can see what we got going on. And I may have to adjust this a little bit because there's a little bit of crayon on that side of it. So, all right. Now I'm going to go ahead and get set up with a extension cord and whatnot to be able to plug in the curling iron over there, the old glue gun, and then we'll see how we do this to try to make a pull with it. It'll either work or it won't. Okay, so I read the instructions, and the instructions talked about getting an appropriately sized pad to go on the dent, and I think either that one or that one to start with. I think I'm going to start with a smaller one. And it talked also about you put it on there, let it dry, and then use the puller to start lifting on the dent. And I think we're there with that. But it did not talk about what color of glue to use, and so I think I'm going to start with the lighter colored first and see how that goes. I'm letting this thing heat up a little bit now, so see how much of this I can do and get it all over the place. But I've got it sitting down here, actually just sitting on the tire because there's no flat surface on which to put it. So basically from that, and we've got that. And then what it says is put the glue on the pad and then immediately stick the pad to the center of the dent, let the glue harden up, and then we'll use the puller to see if we can pull that dent up. I may wind up repositioning the camera so we can look straight on at it from the side, so maybe we can actually see the dent kind of reversing itself out a little bit. Okay, and so then after you do that, when you pull this pad back off, then you have to clean this surface with some alcohol. And so I went in the house, was looking for a bottle of isopropyl alcohol, and apparently we don't have any isopropyl alcohol. So when you don't have isopropyl alcohol, of course you use what's next available, and just happen to have a bottle of Deep Eddy vodka handy. So we're spritzing this thing down with some high quality vodka when we're done to clean it up. So hope it works. We'll see how it goes. But that's what that little spray bottle was for, was to put some alcohol in there to break down the thing. Now the upside is if this doesn't really work, then I've got a shot of vodka waiting to go, so that'll kind of cure the irritation. But no, seriously, very rarely do I ever drink. So anyway, while we wait for the glue gun to heat up, I'm going to go ahead and get some other stuff lined out. Okay, as I suspected, I was going to have to move the camera. So anyway, here's what I got going on. The glue is warmed up, so we're going to do our little arts and crafts project here. And put probably way more than we need. And then we're going to stick that dude right down onto that dent. Going to hold it into place for a second. And hope that it works. All right, well, that seems to be in place. And this is why I had to move the camera, as you can see, is we were not in place for that. So now I've got to open this up to where this slides into, or over that top piece. we are over the top piece. We're going to give it a little bit of a tighten. And now gently pull on that. And I guess that one didn't quite work right, because it popped right off, so maybe the glue wasn't hot enough, who knows. But you peel some of this glue off. Actually felt like it didn't want to stick very well. So I'm going to use the bigger pad, I think. So let's try it again. And who knows, the glue may not have been quite hot enough. I may have too much glue on it. The instructions on this kit were, as you often get from some countries that manufacture most of these products, is pretty vague on exactly what we should be doing and what we should be after with it. So loosen that up, we'll put that back in there, and now we're just going to give it a little bit of a pull again. Yep, there we go again. Okay. Yeah, this stuff still feels kind of soft, so maybe I need to let it harden up a little bit longer. Let's try that on this next one. All right, we're going to go back to the smaller one, and my thought is that maybe it needs to just kind of be a little bit less glue. And we're going to let it sit there for a little bit longer and harden up, because that could be part of the problem as well. Okay, I've got the bridge back in place. I went ahead and I'm going to slide these in a little bit closer. I went ahead and let the glue dry. Now we're probably going on a minute, and so try it again, see what it does. I'm going to pull real gently though, because I can see, it looks like, yeah, it's getting ready to pop loose. There that one goes. Okay, we had a problem with it popping loose. I don't know if it's maybe the glue was too warm or wasn't set up right or whatever. I don't know, but I am going to try again. That seems about right there. Let it set up a little bit longer. It was pulling off. Now maybe the glue is, it seems to be quite a bit hotter. So if that's the case, then it's certainly not going to hurt to have it probably a little bit hotter. Now you can see on the sides when I start pulling on it, well, that's coming right off of there, so that's not going to work. See, that was right away. I've got an alcohol pad. Let me try wiping down that pad. Not spraying the vodka on it. That's reserved for the good stuff for the truck. But it hasn't pulled any dent that I can tell. Clean that off. We'll clean that off. It's just not sticking to the paddle. That's the problem. Okay, let's see if this works. I've gone ahead and changed over to the black glue, and let's put our bridge back on there and see what it does. And it's set for a few minutes, so it's acting like it wants to pull right back out again. All right. Well, that's a plus though, because the glue stayed secured to everything. Maybe I've got too much glue on there. Let me grab that little paddle and we'll wipe it off of there. Okay, that's what these little things here are for, is to instead of using your fingers to get the glue off of here. And no, this did not. Yeah, we're using our fingers anyway. But that glue definitely stuck better than the other stuff. So let me try a bigger paddle. Let's use the bigger deal and put maybe a little bit less glue on it. Get it to kind of spread out a little bit. I don't know. Like I said, the instructions on this were kind of vague. I've done a little bit of looking on YouTube to see what was out there, and it's kind of following along with what I thought it should be. Well, that popped right off. See, this stuff doesn't seem like it's hardening up at all. It just still seems very soft. And in my brain, it just doesn't seem like it'll work as it needs to. And maybe I've got a dent that's a little bit more stubborn than most, and maybe I'm just not as patient. But they always say that paintless dent repair is one of those things that takes a lot of patience. Okay, this is the moment you've all been waiting for. Probably shouldn't have done that, huh? But that was just to show you guys that it was not like some alcohol junk, that it was actually, no kidding, vodka. And that little bitty spritz is not enough to honestly even really taste. Okay, so I did have to break out the vodka spray to get this stuff cleaned off of there, so it was sticking pretty good. And it's kind of one of those things that my friends over at the Spirited Wrenchers channel, check them out while you're at it if you like cars, and they do some reviews on some different drinks, alcohols, and whatnot. So kind of entertaining to watch. So give them a look. But I had to spritz it with a little bit of vodka in their honor. And this is a Texas vodka, so this is the Deep Eddy vodka. So some high quality stuff. So it took off everything. It took off the crayon, the whole 9 yards. And I'm looking at it, and it actually looks like this dent may be pulling a little bit. So I probably need to be just a little bit more patient than what I'm being, because, you know, my expectation was to put this thing on there and have this dent just kind of pop out. And where it's located on the body line, or on the crease right here, I may wind up having to get up from the back side of it somehow, because there's some stuff under the hood, and actually push on that dent. So I might shift gears just a little bit to another dent, see if I can find one that's a little bit closer, and see if maybe that will work out. Okay, so I've gone ahead and moved the camera, and I went ahead and washed the hood of the truck. And the dent that we're going to go after is this one here. So I'm not sure how well it shows up on camera, but it is right here in the middle. And so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing cranked up, and we'll try it again. Like I said before, I think it's the location of that dent, that it's right there by the crease, which I don't know. Or maybe it's just that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not doing it right, which is entirely possible. So anyway, let me get this one set up and we will get cranking on it. Okay, so I went ahead and put one of the buttons on there and one over here. And so there's a couple of dents. That's a bonus. We'll try that here in a minute. And so turn that around so we can see it. Let's put the bridge on here. And then we'll tighten it just a little bit. And let's see if, well, I can see it pulling up a lot more. I think I'm going to actually kind of squeeze that in, make it a little bit tighter. So there's that. Get that stuff off there. Yeah, the black glue stick that's in there is definitely a lot stronger than the clear one. And so cleaning it off is a little bit more of a task. And if you've ever played with a glue gun, you know how much fun they can be having that stuff all over the place. Okay, let me try on this other dent. Turn that so we can kind of get it pointed towards it a little bit better. It's definitely not one of those as easy as 1, 2, 3 kind of a things as you think that it might be based on what everybody in the ads tell you, but I know there's still a little bit of the dent left. I can see it in there, but it's underneath the glue. Well, I'm going to say that dent is definitely less noticeable than it was, for sure. But I want to try it again and see if I can get more of it out of there. Okay, it's starting to rain a little bit, so I'm going to finish up here. But that dent was right there, and unless you're really looking for it, you're not going to see it. I'm actually pretty impressed with how well that went. So, kind of cool. But let me get the camera and stuff out of the rain, and then I'll follow up some more. Okay, well, I think that that's about it for the video. I think I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish, which I wound up kind of proving myself wrong because I didn't think that this was going to work as well as I think it's going to. The important part is don't expect it to be an immediate result. You're going to have to pull and clean several different times to make sure that you get that dent pulled back out to the level that you're satisfied with. But with this tool, this kit, it's doable. I'm surprised. I thought it was going to be a little bit more gimmicky than it is. So don't be afraid to try it out yourself. I'm not going to link which one I got on. I got it off of Amazon. I think it was 40 or 45 bucks for the whole deal, and it came with the glue sticks and the whole 9 yards, as you saw in the package. There's several different ones advertised on there, but I'll let you decide if you want to try it out. I'll let you decide which one you want to use. Make sure you use isopropyl alcohol, because isopropyl alcohol works far better at cleaning this stuff off than a high quality vodka, because I mean, I guess that's the biggest failure of the experiment as a whole. So it's real. No, seriously though. I had fun making the video. I had fun learning from the video, and I hope that you learned something from it as well, because it's kind of what I'm here for, is to try and see what happens. So I know my friends over at Spirited Wrenchers are going to enjoy this little trick, though. That's all for you guys. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get back into this, pull a few more spots, and see how it all turns out. But as always, I appreciate you watching Yellow Jacket Garage, being here with me, and watching my successes or failures as they are. And again, we'll see you on down the road. Hey, just so you know, if you try to do this, my truck is a darker color, so it absorbs the heat. And so when I'm trying to do these pulls later in the day, the heat is softening the glue up, and so the glue is pulling right off. And so it's not giving me the pull that it should give you. So I know people like to call this a pro tip, but I'm an amateur, so this is an amateur tip. This is just a lesson learned. So anyway, if you're going to do this, do it in the morning or do it when it's cool, or if you've got a garage or some other space that's inside that's not going to be soaking up sunlight, great place to do it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.